Hello and welcome back to a new replay cast. Today we're going to be having a look at Zest versus TY. Which God knows where I managed to get this replay from, but I snatched it from the street. Loaded up in my StarCraft. Straight injecting it into your veins. Here on the YouTube. TY versus Zest. The right side we got Mr. Zest of course, and on the left TY. But you guys already noticed that. You're smart. You is cool, you is smart. And we have a barracks here on the high ground, but not before the gas starts. So, refinery before racks, which means later Reaper, more gas, less economy, faster factory. Those are the key words here, the key phrases that we're looking at when we're seeing a refinery before racks. Which is, honestly, it has gotten pretty uncommon recently, and that's because Protoss is so keen on that core before the Nexus. And now, what this core before the Nexus does against gas before racks is that it allows the Protoss to send an adept straight across the map without having to worry about the Reaper, because the Reaper is a little bit delayed. It needs to look around for the probe, as no Marine is being built after the Reaper, but straight reactor. So imagine this Reaper goes straight across the map. In that case, the probe can come in and start working on that SCV, and then the adept comes in, starts working on that SCV, and almost never will you see a command center actually finish when gas first is being played. Like, not without losing an SCV or having to just run back up your own ramp with that SCV. So we're going to be having a look to see if that's going to be the case here. Straight warp gate starting as well here for Zest, who is chrono boosting that first adept like his life depends on it. And here we see the factory being built a little bit in the back. And that straight reactor. Now, this is what I mean. The Reaper almost never makes its way straight across the map, just patrolling this ramp. And here comes the adept. Will make its way across the map as soon as possible, even ignoring the SCV, because the moment he knows that the moment he's going to be chasing this SCV, it's time lost. Oh, wait, he's actually not going across the map. I was so sure he was going across the map. That's actually a big surprise to me. And a very big surprise to me. I really thought he would go straight across the map. Against gas first, that's the most common thing. And not killing the SCV, this is a... Maybe he misread the barracks timing. Because this is what you would... The way he moved was exactly how you would do it if your opponent opens barracks gas into a Reaper. So I think he must have misread the timing a little bit there. Now, did he get scouted? No, Twilight Council did not get scouted. There is a Hellion on the way, there is a Reaper, so these two units together should be able to get some kind of information here. We have a Stalker on the way after second gateway, or before second gateway might have gotten started. Adept still bumming around on this side of the map, making sure nothing comes to him. Now we have Reaper jumping in, gets everything he needs to, sees the blink, saw the research as well. Now I've explained this before. If blink is researching, the shimmering light that moves up and down moves way faster than it usually does. Now adept going back home, sees a move out with a Hellion and a weird amount of Marines. 6, 7 Marines now, 8. The count just keeps growing. Crazy. We have a Banshee on the way with Cloak as well. Now, how aware is Zest of this? Well, he's not very aware, honestly. He really doesn't know anything. Well, this could, in theory, still... Well, he saw the Hellion. Otherwise, it could have just been like a 2-Rex or something like that in his mind. But we're going to see a tank follow up now. First Banshee makes his way across the map. Second Banshee will follow shortly, I can only assume. And observers should stay home, most likely. Yes, first observer rallied, well, into... I have no clue where this observer is going. It's going over here, apparently. As the hallucination makes its way across the map. Now, there's no indication here that Zest is aware that a push is happening. His adept is at home. He got pushed back by the Hellion and the Marines. This observer won't be able to catch the Banshee either. And Zest might be into a little bit of trouble, honestly. He does have how many Stalkers? Is this 7? I can't count. Luckily, Blizzard can do it for you by pressing the U button. 2 more gates are on the way. Battery in the main base as well. Oh, this is... Oh, there's no tank here. This is only Marines. Now we have the Banshee in the main base. We'll be able to get a lot of workers. 5 workers going down immediately. A lot more workers falling at the third base as well, where the Adept dies too. And This is looking very, very poor for Zest, who loses 9 workers at the start of the game. 4 gates do end up finishing, but 10 workers have gone down. Well, is TY really lost? So just the Reaper, the Hellion, and a single Marine and SCV. It's 10 workers. This is a nice recall, but... Actually, was that a nice recall? There was no probes mining. Was that really necessary? Looks for some Marines, but TY is like, meh. Just gonna go home. Oh, TY going into mech. I'm not a fan of this. This is the kind of position where if you follow up with bio, you're gonna be in such a good spot, honestly. Because with bio, you're just gonna be able to kill your opponent after killing 10 workers in the early game. If you have a decent bio follow-up, majority of the time you're just going to be able to kill your opponent immediately. Now, Zest is across the map with his 5-6 stalkers. A lot of probes mining long distance. What's he been smoking? Very surprising way to go about this game, honestly. I'm not quite sure what this unit movement is all about either with these... What are these stalkers looking for? Really looks like he's had a couple too many drinks before this game. Just making sure everything is safe, I guess. You can never be too careful. Now, his vision is absolutely awful. He's not aware that there's mech yet. He's getting a Templar Archives and a Forge, which is actually a pretty decent start against mech. But his work count is so weak. You want to be way ahead of the meching player. Like up 10-12 workers, you want a way faster fort pace. Now, he's getting high gas counts. I like the Templar Archives for the Archons. We're seeing Banshee tank, most likely into Hellions, I guess. Hellion more tank, maybe Hellion Cyclone as a follow-up. Hyperflight Rotors on the way. Against this, usually what you want is some kind of Phoenix to be able to deal with that. But for now, Zest isn't even really aware yet of what's happening, I believe. He hasn't really seen anything. 2 SCVs just gone down. I have no clue how that happened. Did he just kill his own SCVs? I think he must have, right? Nothing else was happening on the map. Fake prison makes its way into a turret. Now the turret should be a bit of a tell, honestly. The moment you see a turret at this time, it's like, hey, wait a second. That seems weird. Scan coming out. 4 Banshees flying across the map as well. But nothing indicates yet that Zest is aware of exactly what's happening. He's as blind as a bat at the moment. Right now he knows. And he immediately starts a Robo Bay. And a second robotics facility. Oh, 3 Templar here. I should be able to get the pickup. Oh, misses the pickup. That's a little bit sad. Could be getting the Robo Bay for observer speed as well, of course. Now, is there an observer on this side? No, there's no. Yes, there is. There's an observer over here. Now, Zest not aware of that. It's just going to be chasing this with stalkers with blink. Newsflash, they don't quite attack invisible units, but good attempt. And we're seeing Hellions as a follow-up and more tanks. So no Cyclone tank, just pure Hellion tank Banshee. Raven is here as well, of course, providing detection and a kind of anti-armor missile. Stalker should end up falling. Oh, no, just get away. 4 Banshees still roaming around the map. So we have 1-1 on the way out of these double factories, or sorry, double armories. Factory 4, 5 and command center number 4 are on the way. Second sensor tower going up as well. It's a very passive game out of both players, actually. Yes, observer speed starting as well as disruptors. So we'll be going into disruptor. Observer speed, of course, to chase Banshees around. You'll never catch those Banshees without observer speed. Even with observer speed, it's difficult. Double cannons will be able to win some time, but 5 Banshees can just target it down, I believe. Yeah. It's high DPS, of course, on those Banshees. Yeah. 3-4 volleys. There we go. Probes start falling. Couple of stalkers being warped in. 4 stalkers should not be enough. Once again, no observer with this army yet. Observer speed a couple of seconds away from finishing. How many stalkers is this? Come on, stop walking into each other. Is it a 9? This looks like 9 stalkers. 1, 2, 9. Yes. 9 stalker squad. Looking for Banshees. Hunting for witches. Let's see if we can find some. I do hope so, because he's in a bad spot already, down 50-40 supply. TY really has just been playing single player up until this point. He's only really interacted with his opponent at the start. And a bit now with the Banshees, but it's like, you know what, I can get to 1-1 upgrades. I can get a maxed army. I think I'm gonna be fine. It does look pretty nice here for TY. Are scanning the natural sees a lot of disruptors. Disruptor not really the answer to tanks. Disruptor is the answer to Heli and Cyclone. Against these tank compositions, ideally you want to be getting higher immortal counts, higher Archon counts. Banshees do get spotted. And now there is a observer here. Oh, we'll be able to get probably 3 Banshees for free. One more blink. 3 Banshees do get owned. Now the Hellions are coming in though. Storms in the prison, raining down on top of those Hellions, which is a nice move. This was a good fight. That was a very good fight. A lot of Hellions died. There's a lot of money in the bank for Zest. Not sure if Zest just forgot the macro for the past 3 minutes or if he's waiting for something. Sometimes you wait because you're not quite sure what your opponent's army composition is, but now that he figured out his opponent's army composition, I kind of would expect him to go into Immortals. That doesn't really seem to be the case, so... Surprising. Very surprising. See drilling claws on the way, Stargates going down. Okay, so this is just going to be Stalker Disruptor into Carrier, I guess, which is a style that I can recommend, sorry, against Heli and Cyclone, but against tank you need to have such good positioning of your army and your micro needs to be super on point. If your opponent's siege is slightly too far forward, all of a sudden you lose all your potential in the game. And honestly, his map, like Zest's map vision isn't that great. Now I do like the Templar in the Prism here to be able to push back anything that moves forward. I think that's big. I really think that's big. I'd love to see Prism speed, but I mean what really is the plan here? You see the bench is still there. Turrets being added. Able to deal with observers and I don't know what else, honestly. Oh, good disruptor shots. We'll be able to get a lot of Hellions. 2 tanks falling as well. Salad warp in, and here comes the cavalry. Stalker's blinking forward. We'll be able to get a good amount of... Man, this fight is absolutely mental. I have no clue how Zest managed to do this. Stalker still alive. 3k, 2k in the bank for Zest, who has 4 Stargates ready. Does he have a fleet beacon as well? No fleet beacon yet. 4 Stargates being idle. Pure Stalker Zealot with some Templar. Couple of disruptor shots. Really shows that unit composition, even though it is important, what's even more important is taking good engagement, and Zest is the king of that apparently. That was such an old engagement with, oh my god, Void Rays. This is the kind of stuff that makes the bronze player inside of me a very happy man. It's like, ooh, you can beat this with just Void Rays. Usually I expect Carrier or Tempest, but Void Rays I have not seen. But I guess there's a first for everything. Now, there's a fleet beacon on the way, so this could be with Flux Veins, which is the Void Ray speed. A couple of Banshees making their way into the main base of Zest. We'll be targeting down the Templar Archives. Big round of Warpings. We'll be able to deal with this, I think, as there's no vision here. Observer needs to make its way back to base. It's a little slow at it. Stalker's moving forward, trying to snipe out, well, basically anything they can find at this point. Get one command center, or force a cancel. They don't really get it. I love this prism. I just really want to see the speed of the prism. It helps so much in these engagements. Okay, so we have a Tempest follow-up. So we start with 4 Void Rays into Tempest. Now there is Cyclones on the way there. No, Cyclones get cancelled, become Thors. There is turrets. But yeah, there's 4 Void Rays and there's not a single unit of anti-air right now. If those Void Rays would just join this fight and kind of dodge the turrets, I think they actually be able to get a couple of tanks at least, which should be a semi-big deal. A couple of Stalkers being warped in, Banshee still being very active. A couple of kills among like 20 kills shared between them. TY moving forward, Storms being dropped on top of the Hellions. Archon coming from the left side as well, so pretty wild this looks like box art right here, if you ask me. Disruptor, Void Ray, High Templar, Stalker, Tempest, Prism, Immortal in one army. Now very difficult to control, and Zest isn't doing the greatest job controlling it, but Void Ray is absolutely ripping through here as there's not a single unit of anti-air. 3 Thors are about to finish up. Oh, 2 Thors are stuck. There is 2 Thors here already, and Void Rays are moving forward. Flux Veins is about to finish up. There is Tempest here. But that's 8 air units against only 2 anti-air units. Oh, these 2 Thors being stuck is a really big deal. These really need to join the army. 2 more Thors are on the way. 2 more Thors are here as well. But if they once again pop on the wrong side, that might be an issue. Banshee's keeping Zest busy for now, who's still floating a big amount of money. Wouldn't mind seeing him use it. Now, Void Rays, once they do get the Flux Veins, will be able to chase the Banshees perhaps a little bit better. Oh, no vision here for Zest. Decide now it's time to attack. And we'll do so. Oh. Poor Banshees. Perhaps a little too close to the sun there as they do decloak. Meanwhile, TY continues expanding. It's already, this is 6th base, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, 6. A couple of Thors are out. We'll be able to deal with these Tempest in rapid fashion. Of course, Thor's extremely good against Tempest. A move in here by Zest, but I'm not quite sure if he has the units here to deal with this. Stalker's doing a good job so far. There's not that many tanks. Another big Stalker warping, but I mean, all these units do well against armored, and Stalkers are armored, of course, taking an absolute beating here, getting destroyed. GG. Zest calls GG with 3k, 1k in the bank, after going for the weirdest Stalker Tempest Void Ray attack that I've seen in a long time. TY does manage to win this game, so congratulations to him. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to slap the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So it always helps me out. And see everyone next time. Bye bye.